How did you use new media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages?
We first wanted to talk about the importance of technology in the film industry, such as camera, editing software, software such as Microsoft Office and the internet, computers, phones, everything like that. The new technology that's helped us in the short film and industry. The first thing we wanted to talk about was our camera, which was the XH-A1 Canon. Um, we used the tripod to help us create still shots that looked professional, and used the spirit level to make sure that the shots weren't um, slanted or looked too kind of dodgy.
This also enabled us to use tracks to get a more smooth and professional shot.
Mm.
Because of this, the shots in our film actually came out to be quite diverse as we had a lot of variety compared to our prelim task, which we'd previously done, whereby a lot of our shots were actually quite basic and quite amateur.
Yeah, there was one point in our feedback where someone said that we had a really good shot, which was using the tracks to zoom into the student's bag, which was obviously was created using the tracks.
As well as this, there was a small part of the film where the camera was actually handheld to shoot. This was because one of the disadvantages of using a tripod was that it's so big that you can't always fit it in to get the shot that you actually want. But this just shows us how technology has advanced and managed to help us make our film look a lot more professional.
The next thing we wanted to talk about was our editing software, which is Adobe Premiere. We used this to obviously help us make our film what it is. We used it to edit, we used it to add our music and make it look professional, and obviously make it good pacing and stuff.
We was able to transform an hour and a half of footage into roughly 5 or 6 minutes. We saw that using the tripod, some of our shots wasn't actually that straight, so we was able to cut them out and then find all the professional shots, all the best ones that we'd got, and put them all together. This came in very helpful in our montage, as we was able to cut very fast to different shots to keep up with the pace of the film, and editing in our audience feedback was one of the strongest points we got, so this helped us a lot in our final film.
The other thing we wanted to talk about was our other software that we use, which was Adobe Photoshop for images, to help us create a poster and logos and things that would help to market or like kind of
Promote
our film, as well as make it look more professional. You can see the poster in the background that we made. The actual background itself was made using Adobe After Effects and was in our opening sequence, but we liked the look of it and the professional kind of Bond theme kind of feel to it, so we decided to add it to our poster to help it kind of more clear what our film was. So yeah.
Yep.
The last one we want to talk about was Microsoft Office, which we used in planning and research stages as well as evaluation stages to document everything, such as in our planning stages when we had to create like a storyboard and things. We used Office like Word and PowerPoint to help us document it easily, as well as we were able to share it together through phones and computers and stuff.
And also share it on our blog.
Yeah, our blog was a big part of our overall short film stages. Through each stage we had to upload onto our blog our documents.
There's a timeline with us, so we could go back and check things and get our film to the highest standard it could possibly be.
Yeah, and we wanted to obviously show our progression of how we made our film, and Microsoft Office as well as the blog helped us to do this.
And also we was able to compare our blog this year to our blog last year and how our work has drastically improved.
The second thing we wanted to talk about was how the film industry has had to adapt to changes in technology and advancements in technology, such as computers, phones, TVs, the internet, which has resulted in Netflix and other technologies such as 3D. The first thing we wanted to talk about in adaptation was the internet, which is such an important part of today's world, and the film industry has had to quite adapt to this technology, because important, and it's a huge market, especially for something like Netflix, which was resulted from the internet. Netflix is a very revolutionary kind of technology which has made film and TV more accessible. So the industry has had to adapt towards this, and now you can see that loads of new technology are being used, like such as Amazon Instant Video and other software and services are available.
This proved difficult for the film industry because it led to the death of videos and DVDs, as people are just downloading apps on their phones and iPads, and etc.
There's no more blockbusters anymore, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so sad.
The next thing we want to talk about was 3D, which is a very kind of, how would you explain it? Like,
it's like a
done and dusted technology. Like, it was here and then it was just gone. But it was like quite important to the industry because when it was introduced, every aspect of the industry had to adapt to it. So cinemas had to install 3D projectors, and
people started buying 3D TVs.
Yeah, and producers and directors have had to start considering using 3D for all their films, as well as the using like the DVDs and Blu-rays have had to include 3D as well now. So the industry as a whole was had to adapt to this kind of technology, which was quite important. We also use technology in our various stages of the making the film, such as planning, research, and evaluation. First of all, in planning, we used computers and software like Word, PowerPoint, and Excel,
Blogger,
as well as Blogger, to plan our film and to create documents and lists and sheets, and that were beneficial in helping us to make us more organised and ready. For example, we had to make a call sheet that we printed out and used Word for that. We also have to use technology like printers and scanners, which we just explained, to print out physical copies of our planned work, and scanners that help to scan our work in that would be uploaded to our blog. For example, we had a planning stage where we had to make a mind map, and we scanned that in and put it onto our blog.
To get ideas, we had to research other short films and post them on our blog as well, watch them online.
Yeah, so technology has allowed us to easily access films on the internet. We found relevant information and short films using our phones and computers to help us plan and document research. The blog was also a technology that we used as a way to store all of our work and research, and to show how we have developed over the time, and how we linked our research to our planning and our film.
And how we've improved since our previous blog.
Indeed. For evaluation, we also had to reflect on our previous tasks, such as the prelim task, opening sequence task, and our short film, and how we progressed throughout the year through via technology, such as Adobe Premiere software, camera work, and computer work. In the beginning, during a prelim task, our Adobe Premiere skills were at beginner's level, and we took a lot of time to edit to a decent and good level. Also, our camera work was difficult and slow. It was hard to use. Our shots weren't as good as they could have been because we were quite amateur and we weren't able to consider things such as the spirit level at the time. For computer work on the prelim task, it was okay. Most of the planning and work was not as detailed as it could have been. But then during the opening sequence task, we progressed, and in editing it was better and it started to look more professional. For camera work, our shots were faster and better, less clumsy. And in general computer work, most of the work was like, for example, in the opening sequence was like drastically improved. Our evaluation was more in depth. And then now during a short film, our editing is very good and looks professional. We were able to edit a lot faster than we used to, and our camera work was a lot easier to do because of this. It was easier to transitions between each shot, and it was consistently better. And lastly, our computer work has become consistent and at a high standard with a lot of in-depth details.